You've probably encountered the name Tsukuyomi before, not for the first time. In Oshi no Ko, the mysterious girl with long silver-white hair, reddish-purple eyes, who quietly determines fate behind the entire entertainment industry. In Final Fantasy XIV, Primal Tsukuyomi, a fierce, beautiful female figure with two-toned skin, rabbit ears, lunar energy storms swallowing everything into darkness. And in Naruto, Itachi's Tsukuyomi technique, the blood-red moonlight that throws you into years of torment in a single instant. Many people see it and say the moon god is cool, dark, and very dangerous. But I tell you, everything you've seen is still too beautiful, too gentle, and too cool. Turn your face toward the window right now. If the moon is full tonight, do you hear anything? The sound of ocean waves, echoing from the sky, not from the real sea, but from the great ocean floating in the heavens. Crashing fiercely, the silver moonlight, cold and chilling, pours down on your skin, cold enough to send shivers down your spine, like thin fingers slowly stroking the back of your neck from behind. The salty sea smell mixed with old incense wafts thickly, and in that oppressive silence, there is a long, cold, deep breath of someone. The voice of the god born from Izanagi's right eye, the god who killed the food goddess out of disgust, and then separated from his son's sister forever. This is the true story of Tsukuyomi no Mikoto, the loneliest moon god in heaven. And he is still angry. You probably know Tsukuyomi best, through the characters, through the images we've seen on the screen. Each one makes you feel, wow, this moon god is insanely cool. But I will tell you little by little, why all of that is still not the real thing. Starting with Oshi no Ko first. Imagine one night in Tokyo where neon lights are still brightly lit, but in the darkness hidden behind the stage, Crow Girl appears unexpectedly, long silver white hair flowing softly to the ground, swaying lightly like moonlight floating down. Pale face, reddish purple eyes that see through everything, as if reading your mind right there. She wears a dark blue school uniform, clean white scarf, looks young but eyes old, sitting smiling slightly at the corner of mouth on a dry branch, amid warm orange light that makes her look both cute and scary at the same time. She is Tsukuyomi, the one who determines fates behind the entire entertainment industry, collecting lives that should have died, then throwing them back to be reborn. Aqua and Ruby, they came back because she was the crow they helped in the previous life. She doesn't speak much, but every time she appears, you will feel like there is a pair of eyes staring at you from the dark corner of the room. Eyes that say, I know everything you will be, and I will arrange your fate myself. The mystery that makes viewers unable to sit still in their chairs, thinking that the moon in this story, it is the game controller hiding behind the scenes. Silent, but the hidden power. It makes you feel chills at the back of the neck, like someone is gently stroking your hair from behind. But it is not yet at the level of disgust as in the real thing. Next, Final Fantasy XIV. Have you ever fought Tsukuyomi in Stormblood? Imagine that night, on the top of Castrum Fluminis Tower where the wind blows so hard your ears ring. Primal Tsukuyomi, a fierce, beautiful female figure who used to be Yatsuyu. Skin on the left side pale white like blank paper, right side pitch black like shadow swallowing everything. Rabbit ears sticking out, swaying with the wind. Wearing traditional Japanese kimono in dark, luxurious colors. Holding a fan in the left hand, a pipe in the right hand. The crescent moon floats behind her, casting cool light down on the stone floor. She laughs softly, a chilling voice echoing throughout the room. I am Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and god of the night. Lunar energy surges out from her body, swallowing everything into complete darkness. Even the light from the crescent moon looks terrifying. Anyone who has played and faced this boss will remember well. Her beauty is so dangerous you forget to breathe, like the moon summoned to take revenge, to protect her people with power that is cold yet can burn. The image seen on the screen is beautiful enough to take your breath away, but there are still game lights, still skill buttons, still background music that makes it look cool. It is still not the true loneliness. And finally, Naruto. This is where everyone mentions when they hear the name Tsukuyomi. The extremely brutal Genjutsu technique of Itachi Uchiha. And Sasuke after that. Blood-red moonlight pours down on the illusion world. You are thrown into it. 1 minute in the real world becomes many years of torment. seeing the worst images of yourself repeating endlessly. Blood flows. Torment. Mind shattered. Everyone who watched that scene will get goosebumps when Itachi says Tsukuyomi, because it is the name of the moon god used as the most beautiful yet cruelest prison. That red light. It feels strangely warm but chills the heart. Like the moon smiling at you, but slowly swallowing you. But all three stories. Both crow girl with silver white hair who determines fate. Both primal with two-toned skin and rabid ears swallowing everything into darkness. And both Itachi's blood illusion. They are still too beautiful, still too gentle, still have screen lights, still have background music, still have a pause button. It is still not the real moon born from Izanagi's right eye. Still not the moon that is angry and lonely forever. Are you ready? We are going to the origin. Now, we are going to step far back to the beginning of everything. Before the world had the sun and moon separated like this. Izanagi no Mikoto, the father who created the land of Japan, had just dragged his exhausted body out from Yomi, the underworld, full of the stench of Izanami's rotting corpse. The wife he once loved but now turned into a demon that tried to devour him. That smell still clings to him tightly. The smell of rotting flesh, dried blood, the smell of death floating with every breath. He drags legs that can barely stand, straight to the mouth of the Awajihara River. Cold seawater seeps through his bare toes. Sea wind blows hard against him, soaking the remaining clothes clinging to his body. He stands completely naked and begins the Misogi purification ritual. Cold water flows over his body, slowly, washing away the filth from the underworld layer by layer. He washes his left eye first. Water flows over the left eyelid, and from that left eye, blinding bright light bursts out. Warm, hot, so bright that the entire sky and earth light up in an instant. Amaterasu no Amakami, the sun goddess, is born, the beautiful and powerful older sister, ready to illuminate the whole world. Izanagi smiles slightly, but it is not over. He raises his hand and washes the right eye next. Cold water flows over the right eyelid, slower than before, colder, deeper. The darkness still lingering in the right eye is not ordinary darkness. It is pure darkness, silence that no one has ever touched. And in that chilling cold, something is forming, not light, but silence, not warmth, but cold spreading everywhere. The right eye opens slowly, and then Tsukuyomi no Mikoto is born. Hair the color of silver like the first untouched moonlight. Skin pale like white jade freshly carved from ice. Eyes gray silver, deep enough to see through all darkness. He does not cry like an ordinary baby. He does not smile, does not move. He stands still there, gazing straight at the sea crashing gently. The first sensation he receives is loneliness. Not human loneliness that wants friends, but loneliness born from ultimate purity, because he was created to rule the night, to maintain peace, order, cleanliness that no one touches, while his older sister is the bright and warm light. And his younger brother Susanoo, who will be born next from the nose, is the chaotic and fierce storm. Tsukuyomi was born to stand in the middle, silent, cold, lonely from the very first second of existence. The salty sea smell mixed with intangible old incense wafts around him. The smell that sticks in the nose. The smell of purity just purified, but still mixed with the smell of death from Yomi that cannot be washed away. Seawater still drips from his silver hair. Drop, drop, sounds softly on the stone ground. He lifts his face to look at the sky that still has no moon, and he knows that he is the moon, that he will shine in the darkness, but never fully touched by sunlight. That loneliness, it begins right here, before he meets anyone, before he speaks to anyone, before he does anything at all. Hey, do you feel it? The cold slipping through your neck right now, like thin fingers from the moonlight slowly stroking. That is Tsukuyomi's first touch, the god born for purity. But in the end, that purity will make him the loneliest in heaven. And this loneliness will lead him to the story that the whole world will remember forever. Hey, we are not rushing anywhere, because next, we will see what his purity makes him do. Something terrifying, and something that makes his older sister so angry they separate forever. Not long after Tsukuyomi was born, the world was still new, the sky still fresh. His older sister Amaterasu sent him a message. Go visit Yukamochi at her palace. She is the food goddess. She will prepare a feast for you. Tsukuyomi smiles faintly, cold as moonlight. He floats down to the palace located in the middle of rice fields and sea. The fragrant smell of food drifts from afar. The smell of new rice, grilled fish, the aroma of cooked meat. He thinks, it must be a beautiful feast. But when he steps into the grand hall, what he sees makes his newly born heart stop beating for a moment. Yukamochi stands smiling widely. Smooth skin, long jet black hair. She raises her hand, then opens her mouth. From her mouth, fresh fish gushes out. The fish twitches, scales still sparkling, blood still seeping. She swallows again, then vomits more. Beautiful rice flows out in piles. Rice that still smells fragrant, but comes from deep in her throat. Then, she turns her back to him, lifts her skirt slightly, and from the other orifices of her body, fresh meat flows out. Large pieces, small pieces, still with warm blood dripping on the floor. Fresh vegetables, fruits, everything. Everything is conjured from inside her body. The fragrant smell that once drifted now turns into the smell of raw meat mixed with warm vomit. The smell of fresh blood. The smell of moisture from inside the body. Tsukuyomi stands still. His gray-silver eyes do not blink. But inside, the disgust born with him explodes. He feels like worms are crawling up his neck. His skin turns ice cold, like being splashed with freezing seawater. His hands tremble slightly, not from fear, but from revulsion. Is this the food you will give me to eat? His voice is soft, but so cold that Yukamochi has to turn and look. She is still smiling. Yes, this is a gift from my own body. It is pure. It is fresh. It is me. Tsukuyomi steps back one step. That smell, it has stuck in his nose. The smell of food born from the secret depths of the body. Not from soil, not from sea, not from fire, but from the mouth, from the intestines, from the orifices. He feels like he is being forced to eat something filthy. The purity inside him is crying. And then, he raises his hand. No need for many words. A cold moonlight sword appears in his hand. One slash. Yukamochi does not even have time to scream. Her head flies off. Blood spurts. But that blood still carries the smell of food. Her body collapses. The food she vomited still twitches on the floor. Fish twitching. Meat contracting. Rice still steaming. Tsukuyomi stands still looking. His face does not change. No anger. No regret. Only full disgust. This should not exist in heaven. He mutters softly. That voice echoes in the hall, so cold that the stone floor cracks into tiny lines. The once fragrant food smell now turns rotten in an instant, because food born from the body, when the food goddess dies, it rots with her. Tsukuyomi turns and walks out of the palace. His bare feet step through the pools of blood and scattered food. But he does not stumble. He does not even wipe his feet, because he knows that he did the right thing. Cleanliness must be preserved, even if it means killing another god. Hey, do you feel it? The cold creeping up your spine right now? That is exactly the feeling Tsukuyomi felt that day. Disgust so pure it is terrifying, and the quiet anger that is about to spread throughout heaven, because this news will reach his older sister's ears very soon, and the older sister will not forgive. News of Yukamochi's death reaches Amaterasu quickly. The sunlight that once brightly illuminated all of heaven begins to tremble slightly. His older sister Amaterasu, the great sun goddess, sits still on her golden throne. Her face that was once warm like morning light now begins to cool. What has he done? Her voice echoes throughout heaven. Not human anger, but a sound that makes the stars tremble. Yukamochi was the food goddess that Amaterasu loved and protected. She was the one who gave birth to rice, fish, meat, fruits, everything that nourishes all things. That Tsukuyomi killed her. It was not just killing an ordinary god. It was destroying the gift Amaterasu gave to the world. Tsukuyomi is summoned up to the highest heaven. He floats up, silver hair still damp from seawater, face calm, gray silver eyes looking straight at his older sister. Amaterasu stands up. Light around her surges so brightly that sky and earth become blinding. Why did you kill her? Her voice trembles, but not from sadness. It is pure anger. Tsukuyomi answers with a soft but ice-cold voice. Because she made food come out from inside her body, from the mouth, from the orifices. It is dirty. It should not exist in heaven. Amaterasu is silent for a moment. Then she laughs. Laughs loudly. But that laughter has no joy. It is full of disappointment and overflowing anger. You? Who do you think you are? You were born from father's right eye. You were created for peace. But your peace has become rudeness. Your cleanliness has become cruelty. She points directly at Tsukuyomi's face. From now on, I will not allow you to be in the same place as me anymore. I will not allow my light to touch your light. I will not allow the moon and sun to be together ever again. Those words echo throughout heaven, like a sunlight sword striking Tsukuyomi's chest. Tsukuyomi does not respond. He stands still, accepting that curse completely. But inside his heart, something shatters. Not pain, but loneliness that doubles in weight. Sunlight around Amaterasu grows brighter and brighter, until Tsukuyomi has to squint. She turns her back on him, walks away without looking back. Every step she takes, light expands outward. As for Tsukuyomi, he floats back down to the night. The sky that was once one begins to be divided into two parts. Daytime, bright with sunlight. Nighttime, cool and calm with moonlight. But the two will never meet again. No day when the sun sets and the moon rises at the same time. No day when the two overlap in the sky. Tsukuyomi stands alone in the night sky. His silver light shines down on the world. Cold, calm, pure. But no one knows that that light is full of anger that has not faded. Anger born from his own purity, and his older sister's anger that will not forgive. From that day onward, the moon and the sun, separate forever, the human world begins to see that image every day. The sun rises. The moon disappears. The moon rises. The sun disappears. The two will never be together again. And the silence that occurs between day and night. It is a wall that will never crumble. Tsukuyomi stands watching his older sister from afar. Her light shines brightly far away. Never turning to look at him, he smiles faintly. Ice cold. This is what I wanted. Cleanliness. Purity. But deep in those gray silver eyes, there is only endless loneliness. Hey, now you know why some nights, when the moon is full, you feel a strange pressure. Because the moon is still angry, and his older sister still has not turned back. This rift still exists to this day, and we will see what that loneliness eventually becomes. From the day the moon and sun separated, time passes for thousands of years. The human world continues as usual. Daytime still bright with warm sunlight. Nighttime still calm with cool moonlight. But everyone who looks up at the sky at night will feel that something is still incomplete. Tsukuyomi still floats in the sky, silver hair long and flowing with unseen wind. Gray silver eyes looking down at the world below. Never sleeping, never closing his eyes. He is still angry. Angry at the filth he saw that day. Angry at food born from inside the body. Angry at his older sister who turned her back and never returned. But more than that, he is lonely. Lonely in a way no words can describe. Not lonely because he has no friends, but lonely because he was created for purity that no one understands. Created for the night that must stay alone forever. Some nights, when the moon is full, humans like us can feel it. Cool silver light pours down on the skin. It is not ordinary light. It is cold enough to send shivers down the spine, like invisible thin fingers slowly stroking the back of the neck from behind. Then you will hear the sound of ocean waves, echoing from the sky, not from the real sea far away, but the entire ocean floating in the heavens, crashing against a non-existent shore. The sound of water crashing, wet, chilling, until it feels like seawater is flowing through your chest. The salty sea smell mixed with old incense wafts in the air. Incense that has burned for thousands of years. Smell that sticks in the nose and cannot be forgotten. And in the silence so oppressive you can hardly breathe, you will hear a long breath of someone. Deep, long, cold. The sound of Tsukuyomi. He is still there, standing watching the world from the sky. Standing watching his older sister still shining far away. Never coming close. Never speaking. That rift has become part of the universe. Every full moon night. It is the night his anger is fully released. The night his loneliness is sent down for humans to feel. Some people feel it and cannot sleep. Some people feel it and get goosebumps all over. Some people feel it and secretly look at the window, then quickly close the curtains. Because the moon is not just shining. It is watching us. It is telling us that the purity he has protected for so long still remains. The anger born from disgust has not faded. And the loneliness that began from birth from Izanagi's right eye still spreads every night. Until today, until tonight. If you are sitting listening right now, and tonight the moon is full, try listening carefully. You might hear the sound of ocean waves from the sky. You might feel the chilling breath blowing past your neck. Because Tsukuyomi is still there, lonely, angry, and still watching us. Forever. The moon is still angry. Even though time has passed for thousands of years. Even though the world has turned many times. Tsukuyomi still floats in the night sky. Long silver hair flowing. Gray silver eyes looking down at us without ever closing. His anger does not roar. Does not explode into storms or lightning. It is silent, cold, and spreads in a way we barely notice. Some nights, especially full moon nights, you might be sitting at home, alone or with someone. Cool silver light slips through the window, pouring onto your skin. It is not ordinary light. It is cold enough to send shivers down your spine, like invisible thin fingers slowly stroking the back of your neck from behind. Then you will hear the sound of ocean waves, echoing from the sky, not the sound of real sea waves many kilometers away, but the entire ocean floating in the heavens, crashing against a non-existent shore. The sound of water crashing, wet, chilling, until it feels like seawater is slowly flowing through your chest. The salty sea smell mixed with old incense wafts in the room. Incense that has burned for thousands of years. Smell that sticks in the nose and cannot be forgotten. And in the silence so oppressive you can hardly breathe, you will hear a long breath of someone. Deep, long, cold. The sound of Tsukuyomi. He does not speak. He does not shout. He just breathes. Breathes with the purity he still protects. Breathes with the anger that has not faded. Breathes with the loneliness that began from birth from Izanagi's right eye. And that is what makes us unable to sleep. Because we know without anyone telling us that the moon is not just shining on the world. It is watching us. It is warning us that purity that is too pure can become cruelty. That the love between divine siblings can be destroyed by just a small difference. That sometimes what we think is right can make us stay alone forever. And tonight, if you are sitting listening, try looking up at the sky. Try listening carefully. The moon is still angry. And some nights, we still hear that sound. The sound of ocean waves from the sky. The chilling breath. And the loneliness that spreads down to our hearts. It is not over. It may never end. Because Tsukuyomi is still watching us. From the sky that will never become one with his sister again.